Hey, church leaders, welcome to the 101 video on the Connect Camps brand. For any company, organization, your church, the brand, the visual identity system is extremely important, okay? Just look at this brand right here. And what brand is that? There's no words, but you know that that swoosh means that it's Nike. And the phrase that comes up to your mind first is what? Just do it. Yeah. So you know. What about here? Let's do this. What about this? I just have to show you the shape of this device, and you probably already know what brand it's associated with. Apple and iPhone. See, there's a lot of different things that make up the brand of a business, of an organization. If you think of another really big brand, Coca-Cola, one thing that makes up their brand is the literal shape of their product. Dating all the way back to the first glass Coke bottle, it had a very distinct shape. No other soda company has the same shape of their bottle because they've decided that that's part of their brand, is the shape of their soda. So Connect Camps is, obviously not as large scale as some Nike, Apple, and Coca-Cola, but we get to take Connect Camps to locations all across the country. And so it's really important for the end user to experience a similar experience whenever they interact with the Connect Camps brand, whether it's on social, which is led by our office, or through local communications, which is done by your church. And protecting the Connect Camps brand is also in the host church agreement. And these brand standards are in the host church agreement as an exhibit as well. And so it's really important to uphold these standards so that as Connect Camps grows in your community and they see this logo and your church's logo together, they will understand exactly what they are seeing. So let's go over the Connect Camps brand together. Obviously, it's important to protect our brand, and these standards are there. Okay, so let's talk about our brand mark. So you can see there are 3 different versions of our brand. We're currently using the primary mark and the secondary mark. This brand symbol has to be accompanied by the words Connect Camps, just because we're in the first 7 years of using this logo, which means that we are only using the primary mark and the secondary mark, and the brand symbol is currently not in use because we want to make sure we tie Connect Camps to the brand mark. Notice the logo is Connect Camps. There's an S on there. And so as you're communicating from stage or on your local marketing assets, make sure that whenever you use the word Connect Camps, that there's an S at the end of camps. That's really important. Okay, some different ways that the logo can be used. Notice there's we'll get to this, there's a very specific color that we use and don't use. Okay, and then notice the spacing as well. We don't want to, if you're using it in like an email, you want to make sure that it stays proportional, that you don't like stretch the logo or smush the logo, because then it changes the logo and provides an inconsistent experience. Here are some things to not do when you're using the Connect brand. We don't want to put it in a color that's not approved. We don't want to add effects. We don't want to stretch it or skew the logo at all. We don't want to use the words without the symbol. We don't want to use the symbol without the words. Really important. Okay, let's talk about colors. You can print this off, keep this by your desk if you're going to be designing Connect Camps assets. These are the colors that we use. We have exact colors so that everything is cohesive across the board, across the country. Most of your designs will be these colors, but if you need some secondary colors to add, you can use these. Notice we don't want to use our secondary palette as the primary palette. You don't want to do that. Okay, let's talk about typography. For our logo, these are the fonts that we use. And then for any design, these are the fonts we use. One important thing to note is if you ever use this Damien font, it has to be only in lowercase, just because it is a subtext. So we ask that we only use it in lowercase. We don't necessarily love the uppercase version of this, but we love how connected the lowercase is. So we only use that in lowercase. And then those are some other fonts you can use as well. Here are our shapes. You use these in supplementary ways. So you can see how they're used here. You obviously don't want them to be too big, or they don't need to take over the design. They just need to add value to it. And then to add some texture, we have these background maps that kind of look like a map of a community. Kind of goes with our brand. You want to use it at 2% white or black, depending on the darkness or the lightness of the design. So you want it to look like this, and then not like that. Okay. And then here's just an example. And that's our viz. Now, we know that you've been given a ton of marketing materials. I mean, just look, you've been given these. Some of them are even customized to your community. You've been given these designs as well. And so that's a lot of designs, but we know that not everything that you could possibly need is represented in those pre-made design folders. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to request designs for us. So you can see our timeline for designs here. So you have the link to this form. It's located on the host hub, and I'm going to show you how to fill it out. Okay. Put in my name, phone number, email, my community. My project name is test design. And then I'm going to choose, is this a new design? Do I want an edit of an already existing design? Or do I want to request an edit for my landing page, for my website? So I'm just going to say new design. Notice, depending on what you choose, the questions are different. But I'm going to go new design. It's a print material. The dimensions are 8.5 by 5.5. I would love to have a flyer that is solely focused on the theme and gives a brief short overview. Then has the QR to register for Canva. Okay. And then I would draw up the design. I would select that file and put it right there. And then I would submit it. And then our team will get that design, and we'll send that back to you within, hopefully get a final design within 20 days. That gives us time to get the design, some edits going, and then get it to you and make sure you approve it. Now, one really cool thing while this is up that Connect is offering to our host churches is we actually are starting a marketing firm. We work with a couple churches to do their overall graphic design, website, branding, social media, and email and text communication. And we can do that for your church. We're a full service marketing firm. If that's something that your church would be interested in, then you can click this form, this link right here, and it will take you to the Connect Campus Marketing Interest Form, where we'll get set up for a time to talk more about what that could look like. We also have the opportunity for your church to hire the Connect marketing firm to run all of your Connect Campus marketing, so that you can see higher results than you've ever seen of getting campers who are not currently involved in your church to your church and signed up for Connect Camps. So those are a couple different things, just as an aside to our current conversation. So that's a little bit about the Connect Camps brand. And it is how to request a design that you don't already have. Now, your church might already have a whole communication staff that does your graphic design, and that is awesome. However, as a part of the host church agreement, Connect Camps would love to approve all of those designs just to make sure we're protecting our brand, just like Coke, Nike, Apple do have really firm brand standards. And so if you ever have a design that your team makes, we love that you do that. That is great. You can do that all you want. Just make sure you send that to your home office contact and let them review it before putting that out to the public, just to make sure that we are being really protective of our brand and they get a consistent experience across. We will get that returned to you within a business day. So we're not in this to hold you up. We are on it and ready to respond. So just send that to your home office contact or hosts@connect-ministries.com, and we'll get that answer to you super, super speedy fast. Thanks so much for your help on protecting the Connect Camps brand. If you ever need help creating these types of standards for your church or your children's ministry, we'd love, the Connect marketing firm would love to help you through that. We can walk you through a whole discovery process and even build all of that for you and deliver that to you so that your brand is consistent for the different families in your community. So hope that this is helpful. If you have any other questions, reach out to your home office contact. Talk soon.